Oh! That is random. This story is a work of fiction, no relation between characters appearing in organizations that really exist. In case you're wondering. During the summer, I have worked as part-time job at a Ryokan at the foot of a mountain in the countryside. To think of it, I have not kept in touch with the friends who I used to be with. I'm strongly attracted to quiet landscapes, such as vines crawling on the empty ground, or moonlight falling lightly on the bared steel bars. I don't know if I call this as a hobby, but I opened up the map every time I had a day off. Then I got more into exploring abandoned buildings. It was just before the holidays in this year that I suddenly remembered the ruins of Meshii Village. It was my job to fetch hot spring water on the top of the mountain. On the way, I had seen a dilapidated building. At the time, I did not pay much attention and thought it was to the ruins of rival Ryokans. But now, the sight of it standing there seems like it has been forgotten by the world that is stacking in the back of my mind. I put the beer can down and shoved the map and camera into my backpack. Randomly, we're drinking on the job. Okay. Just suddenly, beer can in hand. All right, so at least we get a breakdown of who we are to an extent. We're an employee here. We work at the Ryokan. There are other Ryokans and buildings that have been left to nature and are dilapidated. And we just decide on a whim to check this specific building out. Let's see. I like the sound effects, the old creaking wood and stuff. Oh, hello, toilet. Hearing the wind rush by. There is no outdoors, though, evidently. Like, you don't get to see anything outside the building here, which is kind of weird. I'm not sure if that's intended or if the devs were just like, no, we can't do that for one technical reason or another. So far, the sound effects are really nice. Really enjoy the sound effects. Really like the visuals. Outside the lack of, well, earth. Yeah, the paintings look really nice. Everything looking disheveled looks really good. Oh, nice. Paleo Pines. Awesome. Let me know how that is. Oh, God. Hi. Pepsi Cola. Has no connection to Pepsi. Oh, okay, so phones are saving points. Neat. All right. Oh, hi. So the vibe of this building gives me vibes of Fatal Frame, but with some elements of, like, Resident Evil. In a way, you know, like the save room bit. Save at the typewriter, save at the notepad, save at the phone. Oh! That is random. I wish I got the skeleton too. I was like, my brain was trying to process what was going on. Key for employee corridor. Got the key to the employee corridor. Okay. Yeah, weird seeing a TV in here and it being on. The hanging skeleton was interesting. It's always neat because going through stuff like this, you always feel like an urban explorer, you know? And I love stuff like that. Like, when I was a kid, I was always naturally pulled into history. And so to have the opportunity to go through places like this would be so cool. Oh, hi. You left something. Folklorist Notes 1. Are these like the bodies of people who traversed this place before us? Oh, thank you for the clip, Panda. Appreciate it. April 7th, sunny. We finally arrived at our research target, Meshii Village. From this hotel on the slope of a mountain, we had a panoramic... Yeah, let me try that again. April 7th, sunny. We finally arrived at our research target, Meshii Village. From this hotel on the slope of a mountain, we had a panoramic view of the village. The view of the small village dyed red in the evening was truly spectacular. From tomorrow, I can concentrate on my historical research. Japanese mixed rice cooked for dinner was so delicious that it is worth mentioning in the notes. Fair. April 8th, bright and clear. I'm going out to the city for the investigation. Due to the clan's mismanagement, this area was suffered from the severe famine during the unseasonable weather between the 4th to 10th years of the Tempo period. Only the village called Meshii survived the disaster without a single person dying of starvation. However, buried in history, there are only a few historical records left. What exactly led Meshii Village to a different future from other villages? It is very interesting, like the rice. The wisdoms and skills of this village should be passed on today. Bath from 1800. Okay. April 10th, cloudy. We conducted interviews at the village office, but were not able to obtain any special information. There's no record of the village's history in the archives. The woman at the counter in her 40s was kind, but I was confused as she could not stop chit-chatting with me since it seems very few guests are visiting here. I will wash away my worries and rest at the hot spring. The baths here are clean and nice. Cloudy and sunny, April 12th. Interview with residents. We visited the shrine at the foot of Mount Sakasuru. Unfortunately, the priest was out for a land-breaking ceremony in a distant place, so we decided to return on another day. The proprietress at the dry goods store in her 50s told us an interesting story about her beliefs. The village is protected by the sacred mountain Sakasuru. There is a tradition that the mountain god, Oshinsama, has saved the village from every bad disaster. After the bath, I contacted the receptionist to ask for a massage, but I was told there were no such services. The owner told me that he can do it on behalf, but I politely denied. I was trying to say that without laughing. Oh, God. Okay, I like that. The translations are a little rough in this game, but I like the fact that there are some elements of humor in here and that we are getting some sort of lore besides just, engaging with the visuals of like, there was a door here. Now it's broken. Something happened. There's a blood stain here. Okay, something happened here. We're getting some notes too, which is cool. Yeah, this is a very, very good looking game though. I really like the lighting. I like the color choices. The layout looks really good. The sounds are fantastic. It's just weird to look out a window and be like, there's nothing out here. Thank you for that clip. I snagged a clip of Bone Jangles for you. I love that. Nice touch with the bird. That threw me off for a second. Guest Travel Memories 3. Got the Guest Travel Memory 3. I want to purchase the sweet buns that I found at the room at the souvenir shop 2. Okay. So we're getting notes from whenever this was an active Ryokan, evidently. So not only are we trying to figure out why this village and this Ryokan was never destroyed when other ones were in the area, but then why it's now dilapidated. What happened? Yeah, it's cool feeling like you're an urban explorer. It's interesting to see nature try to reclaim a building. And it's always interesting, too, to go through and be like, wow, they left so much stuff behind. You can find cash registers and paintings and furniture and things that could still be used but was just left behind. left to time. It just seems really interesting. Random flickering light, never a good sign. Oh, glowing red light. That's also fun. There we go. Yeah, the tight corridors are very unnerving in a good way. With the sound effects, too. Because you really have nowhere to run. And this is also unfamiliar territory. Employee housing. There was a mass bizarre murder happened in Meshii Village. Around 9 a.m. today, a delivery person found many people slaughtered at Masagoro Ryokan in Meshii Village. Well, that was here. The victims were the employees and guests of Masagoro Ryokan, and all of their bodies were cut out from the chest down, as the police reported. The mutilated body parts have not yet been found. Oh. The police is doing everything in their power to investigate this mass murder. Okay, so there was a mass murder. Got the key to the guest room. I feel really sorry for Oshisan. He cannot ask to change his room. Okay. I don't really know why the notes are important. Maybe they'll come together, but like some of these notes, like the folklorist gave a fair amount of information, but these employee notes are just like, ate a tuna sandwich, 3 o'clock. Okay. Oh, shit. Was that a moving shadow? I swear there was a moving shadow. If that's the case, that's actually really cool. Because that is very much a thing in paranormal studies. In investigations, they talk about like shadow people. And that was so subtle if that was the case. I don't think it was from the light. I think it was like movement that they created for a shadow. That's cool. If anyone can look back at that to make sure that I'm not crazy, but I'm pretty sure your shadows move all the time. Yeah, when you move. I mean, not everyone is going to be dancing naked in the moonlight, okay? We're getting 203 complaints again, and they're not doing anything about it. The room attendants are talking that they're all quitting together. Okay, so there seem to be issues, complaints with things happening in the inn or the Ryokan. And a lot of people are talking about quitting. Nice touch. Nice touch. I like that. It's cool because at first you're like, oh, this is cool. This is weird. This is different, you know? But then you start reading the notes, and then certain things start happening. Things falling, noises being made. Ugh. Anyone got any WD-40? Hey, thank you for that clip, Arcanus. Appreciate it. Yeah, this reminds me of the time I went to Utah and went to a small city. It was on the way I was actually moving from Boston to California. And I remember stopping in this small town. I think it was like Greensville, Utah, or Greens, Utah, or something with green in it. And it was like a ghost town pretty much, but they had a hotel there. So we stopped there and we stayed. They had like a super nice restaurant there, but that was all it basically had. And so many things were closed. And they had gas stations, they had hotels that were completely closed up. All the stuff was still there. It was like a strange time capsule. All right, so we've saved. We've got the red light district over there. Door over here. Got the brochure. Can open with Q. Okay. Nice. Now we have a map. Great. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, it doesn't feel that big, but it also feels like we've traveled through quite a bit of stuff already. Nope. No, thank you. Entrance key. Nope. All right. Oh, another key. Kitchen key. Oh. Well, darn. There goes the fun light. Ah, okay. So this cuts around. We're back up here again. Okay, cool. Okay. Hello? You better not be housekeeping. They're all dead. Oh, hello. Oh, think we finally made it to the kitchen? Sweet. Oh, hi. You know what? I'm not afraid of rats. I got 3 of them at home. Great Hall. Shigetsu room. Hi. Okay, that was a solid jump scare. The ones with the skeletons were a little weird. But that was solid. That worked. Notes of the chef. 1 salt, 2 soy sauce, 2 red bottles of Japanese sake. The garlic should not be rubbed but hit. A lot of deers haunted. I think I can save a lot of them. Can I find a place where the sun doesn't shine directly but the wind blows through? I'm sorry, was the chef drunk? Were the 2 red bottles of sake for him? All right, well, there you go. Ooh, what's that? Mysterious note. Okay. Yeah, the audio usage is simple but good. Like, they're very good quality sounds being utilized. And the creep factor is slowly building as you explore more. It doesn't just go 100% right off the bat, which is really nice, because it gets too easy to get desensitized. The environment looks fantastic. Looks very, very good. And they do have some creepy things without overdoing it, which is nice. The knife jump scare was very good. The skeleton jump scares, I don't know. The skeletons look good, and there's an explanation for them being the way they are, but they just, to me, wasn't scary. It was just kind of like, oh. So I can't really say, you know, if that's just a me thing or what. Ah. There we go. Now we can get into here. I'm sorry if someone was watching that. I do apologize. Sakura key. Ah, that's why that's not budging. Okay. That's Sumeyer. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that got me a little bit. I think more so the sound. I was not expecting the sound. That floating half-skeleton barked at me. I don't appreciate that. I am really waiting for something to jump out the toilet, though. Protruding piece of wood. Got a protruding piece of wood. Okay, thank you. Folklore notes too. Here we go. April 13th, sunny. I talked with a storekeeper in his 60s at a deserted general store at the front of the mountain. He told me that they sell souvenirs for climbers, but there are very few visitors now. I bought one of the wooden dolls in a trick box, which is said to be a traditional offering of the village. Now, we're seeing text in red, so I'm guessing we're going to be able to interact with those elements maybe later on. The lower half of the body was strangely emphasized like a clay figurine. I wondered if this was for good harvesting. I'll take it home for research purposes. April 15th, rain. Because I took a long bath, it seems like I have fallen asleep. The sound of the wind blowing across the mountains was soothing to my ears as I lay half awake, unable to open my eyes. As I took a step forward, the chirping of wild birds, I felt my body shake violently. I tried to step on the ground in a panic, but I was slammed face into the ground. I could smell the soil. Oh well. Okay, interesting. I have no more lower half of body. I woke up at the same time as I realized that, what the hell? I had never dreamed of coming to a place I didn't know before. I was sweating so much that I didn't know if I should take a bath again. So I can't tell if the folklorist is having dreams of what happened to the people here or what would happen to the people here, or I'm having a little trouble with the translation. Putting it all together later, there was trouble with the construction of the Masagoro Ryokan. The developer pushed ahead with the construction, but there was strong opposition from the residents to the mountain carving work. Public Office 40s. There used to be a small shrine on the site where this Ryokan is standing, although this shrine has been moved already. The street leading to the shrine at the foot of the mountain should still be there. Rental library 70s. The origin of the shrine is unknown, but the shrine was all filled with a lot of dolls called Momotare-sama. An old man with dementia seems visiting the shrine even after the shrine was moved, but I don't know now. Delivery man 40s. 3 years ago, there was an incident where an employee of the Ryokan suddenly died. I heard that the chief priest of the shrine came and exorcised evil spirits. Doctors 60s. I wonder if the unique beliefs of Mountain and Meshii Village have something related to the wisdom of overcoming starvation. I think I should investigate this Masagoro from tomorrow. The food was as good as ever. These notes feel a little sporadic and weird, and of course the translation's a little bit rough, but we're getting some bits of what's going on here. Oh god, more notes. There was something that happened. Suddenly the sound had begun that many of... Wait, what? The sound has began that many footsteps going to and fro in the hallway. Is it a fire? I can hear a scream and rumbling of the earth that sounds like a roar. Now, again, the English is rough, but maybe in the Japanese it sounds really, really good. And unfortunately, I don't really read Japanese. I barely speak it, so there is that. I wonder what is going on, but I have to get my things together. What the hell is that? A person or people missing from the chest down? The door's overflowing with them. I can't believe it. Probably they are blind. It'll be fine as long as I don't make any sound. I think I am okay if I stay here. I can't stop chilling. I can still hear the screams. My hands and teeth are shaking. I must not be noticed by them. They are still gushing out from a gap in the closet. I can see 3 fallen employees. All of them are dead, their faces convulsed with fear. What are those things? Is that what is called Ocean-sama? It must be the seal. Memo breaks off here. Ah. Okay. Rude. Well, okay then. They talk about being quiet, not being loud. So maybe not trying to make too much noise. Jesus criminy. Got the key to large public bath. Ah, okay, so here's the box, probably with the doll. So we have 1 piece and we're still looking for 2 more. Oh, thanks. The employees here are still so friendly. So I think the key will take us here. Yes, cool. Nice. You know, Thanks for the friendliness, employees, but, how about no? That's locked. But that isn't. Ooh, what are you? The Wise Monkey. Mysterious note? No, folklore notes. Okay. April 20th, rain. It was true that an employee died suddenly 3 years ago. A dustman for bathroom cleaner in his 60s has proved. Okay. That was the room 203 for workers, which used to be a guest room for the employees. The room is upstairs around the corner from here. Even though it is now closed, the place is closer than I imagine. These are rough, man. I see these notes, and usually I'm like, yeah, lore. But I'm looking at it going, oh, man, the translation is rough. There are spelling errors as well. The kitchen worker who had lived in room 203 started to have sudden deliriums again and again. He was found dead in the room. Nobody knows what happened there. I'm concerned that the man was persistently asking for a room change. Why the room 203 has been changed for guests to workers? Is it related to the incident of the man's unnatural death? I'm not an expert in the occult. I hope the owner of this place can tell me more in details. April 22nd, rain. I was finally able to talk to the owner of the Ryokan. At first, he was not willing to tell, but when I explained what I had been researching, he had started to share what he heard from the village priest and its elders. He said that he is also researching about this place himself. He reminded me not to use this as a part of fun. Okay. Room 203 has been received a lot of complaints of spooky noises consistently, and that is why it was changed from a guest room to an employee's room. The priest who came to purify the room pointed out that there has been strongly influenced by the shrine, as the room 203 was almost exactly the same place where the shrine used to be. Okay, so evidently they pissed off some entity by moving this shrine and building this Ryokan right here. The entire second floor of BF has been off-limit after the strange incident. Just last month, some decaying historical documents were found in the storehouse during breaking down the vacant house at the end of Village. Ugh. The owner took some photos of them, and those are left in the warehouse in this place. I asked him to show me the photos tomorrow. I was so excited and went to bed. Oh, balls. No, thank you. Oh, hell no. Why? Why? Hi, I come in peace. Hopefully not pieces. I mean, fine, close the damn door. See if I care. Now this one's open. We taking a bath? Hey, masked lady, want to join me? Bathroom key. Yee! Okay. Shower time. Yeah, the screaming came from here, so it's like, okay, wait a minute. So now we're able to get in here. That was a good jump scare, actually. That was solid. Got the key to the guest room, Fuji. Play memo. They're coming. We have to hold our breath. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. You can hold your breath by pressing and holding R. Okay, now here we are running into sort of horror survival. You can hold your breath to avoid the Ocean Sama from appearing. As holding breath won't last long, the timing of pressing the button is important. This reminds me of Detention a bit. Okay, so when we see the floating skeletons, but now they have the masks on, we can hold our breath. Yeah, that reminds me quite a bit of Detention, actually. Alright, so we start off with this sort of urbexing vibe. With a few little creeps, you know, here and there. A few little creepy moments here and there. But then we actually get into an actual entity trying to kill us. So that's fun. Oh, nice. I love that. Hearing the footfalls down the stairs, but there's no one there. All right, so we need to go to the Fuji room. And there's a bathroom key, too. That's actually very clever, by the way, because there is no shift to run. There is no... Ooh. There is no shift to run. There is no place to really hide. So it's actually pretty clever to have that whole hold your breath and hope for the best. Hi. Oh, wow. Okay, that room is still locked. Ooh, we got this room open. Okay, don't see any keys or notes yet. Ah, there we go. Office key. Hey, that's perfect. We're heading there anyway, so. Scribbles of an innkeeper. I knew it was Oshida's room. That place is ruined. I saw it. It's the same as that picture. It's really coming out. I don't want to die. I'm good. I'm just going to stay here. Well, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Yeah, that's the end. Okay, bye. Just kidding. We good? Everyone fine? GG's. See you later, gamers. Okay, that room there. Piss off, thank you. Woo! Yeah, those moments are actually pretty tense. Oh, shit. Record of the Innkeeper 1. Since its opening, the business of the Ryokan seemed to be generally good. However, a fragment of the file written by the owner shows that he was troubled by some complaints about the specific room. It's the room 203 again. He says he heard a draft blowing and that sounds like a person groaning. I'm sure it's just the wind, but a draft itself should be a joke in this early in the year after opening. I'll have a contractor checking tomorrow. Construction for the reinforcement has been completed. For some reason, the wind is stronger on the second floor, the cliff side. Still getting the complaints about the room 203. It does sound like a roar, but it's just the wind blowing between the room and the cliff. It is very typical of city guests to be nervous about such things even in their trip. A family guest of the room 203 was canceled and refunded far ahead of schedule. They said the noise from the wind was making them sick. I had a checkup at the end of the year, but now I feel sick too. Upon the building expansion in next spring, I will make 203 banned from use. From now on, we can use the BF second floor as the employees' rooms. Hand-drawn maps, okay. Got the staff memo. What's it say? Look the door or lock the door? Lock the door with the entrance key after the work. Locked and off limits. Use the stairs when carry the food. Stone monument? Question mark? Employee dormitory. Okay. No complaint, business is good. Toshio Oshida, who works in the kitchen and has been assigned a room 203, came to ask for advice on changing rooms. He said he couldn't sleep because of the wind and that he couldn't stand the noise. I told him not to be so selfish until we were out of the busy summer season. It's not good for public image to have to change rooms again at 203. I'll just have to ask Oshida to be patient. Oshida's mistake was terrible. It is a rebellion against the room. His eyes are vacant as if he hasn't slept much, and he doesn't respond well to our attention. I wondered if I should give him a leave of absence. I'm set about in the earnest of organizing a bowling tournament in autumn. I would like to rent a bus. If you would agree with me, please let Lida know. Okay. Lida, you want to do some bowling? Oh my god, the number of notes now. The research has been progressed dramatically. The historical documents were unimaginable. Oshin-sama, the object of worship in the village, it was a human being that the villagers ate as a lump of meat to overcome hunger? Oh. Sakakuru Mountains seems to be the place where they held a ritual to separate the volunteers into flesh and soul. The literature reads as follows. Firstly, shave off all the hairs and purify the bodies in the morning sun. Then, to ensure that they would never return, crush both of their eyes, hang them upside down, and cut their carotid arteries? I know what they're trying to say, but I am trying to read it the way they wrote it. And man, drain the blood slowly until noon. After death, the bodies below the heart are taken as meats, and they are distributed among the villagers. The precious soul resides in the heart, and they will become the god of the mountain. Oh. So basically what this is saying is that the reason for why Meshii Village could survive when so many others didn't was the fact that they did this ritual where they ate people. And they ate their lower halves and saved the upper halves. The village of Meshii has survived and overcame many of famine because of this ritual. The shrine was a place to worship the souls of those who gave their flesh and blood for the village. So now that the shrine is moved, the ghosts, the spirits are pissed. What happened now after the shrine relocated? As a researcher, I will have to confirm them with my own eyes. Warehouse key. Sumayer key. Mysterious note 2. Looks like answers to a puzzle. The spirit of the priest seems scary. He was sweating a lot. I didn't know that purifying a place is such a big deal. Well, now you do. Ah, okay, well, here's the warehouse. Oh, God, more notes. You know, usually I love notes, but man, with these translations. A note on the safe. I kept a piece of paper with a clue of the safe key in order not to forget. Employee Iwabuchi, kitchen office. Oh, so those must be the mysterious notes. Okay. I was completely fooled. The real estate agent said that the shrine here was tiny and insignificant thing and that it would be much better to relocate so that the place will be clean, didn't he? Today, the priest who came to see Oshida's room told me that he felt the wrath of the mountain gods for building this Ryokan. I don't even want to think that Oshida's case was the vengeance, but anyway, the best thing is to have it carefully purified and we forget about it as soon as possible. We hope to resume the normal business by the end of the year. Oshida's room has been sealed. Little by little, things are starting to come back to normal. The ceiling of that room became so tight that we eventually decided to seal off the entire second floor. It will no longer be visible to anyone. We don't want to have any more strange rumors. At the employee meeting tomorrow, I will have to tell everyone not to speak about the incident to anyone. I'm going to do some research on my own to find out what kind of history this place actually has. The rest of the article is about the miscellaneous business of the Ryokan. Restricted areas. Broad term, but we'll take it. Something terrible has happened. Toshio Oshida died in room 203. Was it unaliving? When the chief of the opposite room heard the scream and went to see him, he was already dead. I can't get rid of that blackened, convulsed face that is burned into my eyes. Thinking about what's to come, I feel heavy-hearted. I don't know why this happened to me. I love how he's like, I don't know why this happened to me. Like, you're not the one who's dead and evidently had a horrible death. The police finished their inspection of the crime scene and proved that it was not a murder. It was good that our doubt has been removed, but everything was still unclear. The cause of death was said to be shocked, but what on earth could it be? In the end, we still don't know if it was a unaliving or an accident. Nobody will come close to BF's second floor, and the rumor about this incident might affect on our business. I think I will contact the priest of the shrine at the foot of the mountain. Nakabushi. Okay, so A-D. Ah, okay. Cool. So, main entrance, or the entrance we took. Bath area. Hello? Oh. They're just chatting away. All right. I feel like some of these skeletons, like the ones that don't hunt you down because they don't have the mask on, they like fade away too quickly. Like let them, I don't know, maybe like the timing feels off a little bit. I would apologize for the noise that my kid was crying in the middle of the night. It seems he had a bad dream. We enjoyed the food a lot. My hair was pulled from the wall. It hurts. Dirty child's handwriting. Oh, haunted by a kid? Ah, cool. Okay. Here's a room. I laughed at today's meals for employee, which was bursting with decorations. It looks like the kids would love it. So why don't you serve that to the customers? Huh? Okay. Sure. Okay, we're good here. We're missing one folklorist note. Missing 3 guest travel notes, 2 innkeeper notes, a mysterious note, and then one more employee note. Thank you. Our guy must be a smoker. I visited the shrine after it moved to moved to new place. The owner had only visited there once when he opened the Ryokan. Wondering how long it had been left as it is, it seems that the wild animals had ransacked, so I hardly say it was a sacred place without being told. When I asked if the shrine is going to be rebuilt, he was frightened and said they did not have any funds to do so. I was told it's free to go and check the sealed room 203 if I want to know what was going on. I was not quite sure, but I have decided to go. Even though it was still early in the day, I am regretted that I went and checked them out. A cold wind was leaking out of the door where a huge number of talismans were sealed with. Even though it was my imagination, I couldn't help smelling foul. How dear there was such a way to seal up a place like that. Okay. Key! Iwabuchi's storage room. Okay. Sweet. December 1st, although I read some historical materials, but I could not understand the concepts of this tradition. Regarding the religion of the mountain, I could not find anything apart from the name of God Ocean-sama. I found that the owner of the barber 2 generations back had already been dead. He was the elderest guy in his village, and I am sorry to hear any information about Sakasuru Mountain and the shrine. I talked with his family in the city and heard that the vacant houses and storehouse will be dismantled as there is no one to live. I would be present at the construction as they will contact me again. I hope to find something there. Okay. So basically, there was no attempt to really rebuild the shrine in room 203. And the owner tried, seems like shoveling everything away, hiding it, in hopes that nothing will happen. And that the whole thing with the priest would be enough. But it wasn't. Hey, wood protrusion. Okay. This is what scenic beauty is all about. The view from the window is making me feel refreshed. The staff at this Ryokan also had charming smiles, and that made the trip nicer. Thank you very much. Aw, well, that's great. The people tried. The people tried, you know. Damn it. Oh, interesting. Shit. Ugh. Thanks for that. Ah, but this one. Not another falling light. Ah. I was satisfied with the beautiful room as it had just been expanded. I would like to come here again in autumn seasons. Any keys? No. Okay. Well, we're capturing notes, which is good. I am not sure where this restricted area is. Here? Oh, hi. Okay, that one got me. All right, so third mysterious note. Safe key. Perfect. So now we can do the safe. Hoping nothing spawns in here. Okay, so we're missing one guest travel note. We have all the folklorist notes. We're missing one innkeeper note and one employee memo. So based on the pattern, we have top, middle, bottom. We have this sort of triangle. So this is saying the middle is this symbol. There we go. What's in the safe? Got a picture. Oshida's room key. Record of the innkeeper. I was present at the cleaning of storehouse on the outskirts of the village and found the thing that looked like a picture scroll. It seemed to depict a ritual that had been handed down in the village of Meshii. Was it a kind of reduction? The victims were the people who could not work turned into human flesh at every time they have starvation. The people volunteered in order to save the village. The historical documents describe the procedure of a human anatomy in detail. This does kind of remind me of Fatal Frame, actually, a little bit. You would have to sacrifice, what is it, like there were twins or something? You have to sacrifice one of them by the other's hand or something to save the village? The guy who was already 98 years old would be the one who knows this black history. In the end, he had continued to visit the shrine to repose the souls of the heroes of the past. The relatives and I parted without saying anything. I couldn't believe that cannibalism had been practiced in this village, even in times of emergency. It is fatal for the tourist spot. No wonder the venerable scrolls have been hidden away in the depths of the storehouse. I don't recognize any of the ceremonial rooms depicted in the picture scroll. There was a small shrine here, which was simply torn down and relocated. There was not a building like this in the first place. Whoa. Not what I was expecting. Wow. First of all, this is only the temporary seal. After the shrine being rebuilt, the repose ceremony should be held again. From now on, no one is allowed to enter this place. No one is allowed to approach, even the sound of the wind is asking to. Starting from this spot, we sealed off 3 places in the building to form a barrier. When the shrine is eventually rebuilt, please release the land with the following procedure. First, blow out the candles that illuminate this place. At each of the 3 locations, a crane, a fox, and a monkey guard the wards. By touching the glowing figures, the barrier will be released. When all 3 barriers have been released, the seal will be disappeared. The spirits should be transferred to the newly built shrine, and a requiem ceremony should be held. We must never forget, because the spirit will never be forgotten. It is the way of the village to enshrine them in the shrine for a long time and to live together with them. Okay, so I do remember seeing these images, especially the monkey, because I remember pointing that out. So we have the 3 wooden protrusions with a doll for something, but then we also have this, where we rebuild the shrine, which I guess this is the shrine? I don't know. And then from there, we open up the shield, or break down the barrier. I don't know, I'm having a hard time because of the translation stuff. So it almost feels like there might be 2 different ceremonies that you could do here. Maybe. Maybe I'm wrong, but... So this is the door with the barrier on it, maybe? Looks like it has seals drawn on it. Oh, hey, we missed the notes. Who flushes a lot of hair down the drain after cleaning? And if the person can't even keep your slippers in pairs at the bathroom, I cannot live together before talking about work. I do not want to say this again and again. Again, the notes just sound so weird because they're being translated into English, so... See, I hate looking up answers like this, but at this point I feel like it's a developer thing. And that is on the developer. It's like not up to me to fix their game, you know? Yes, I did open the safe. Oh, son of a bitch. That is a horrible spot for that. Like, it's a little piece of wood that's on a piece of wood in a corner of a little place that you would not look. And it doesn't highlight until you're literally on the toilet. Yeah, so that's a developer thing. That was just not good placement for that. Thank you for that. Yes, that's right. There is a jump scare. There's a jump scare that happens here. But you wouldn't, like, think that, oh, that must mean I need to go into this room. So, I mean, I guess they thought it would. Like, oh, you would explore afterward. But that is pretty silly. Good Lord. All right, you got hips for days, doll. Would have been an ass and put it in the toilet, but that's just me. You know, I've been assuming something would be in the toilet. Like, literally. Or, like, at least jump out and attack me. Nothing. Well, I guess technically that jump scare, but... But they really didn't come out of the toilet. They were just hovering over it, you know? So I don't really count that. Did we do a thing? I heard a noise. What the hell is that noise? Not today, Satan. Yeah, I kind of figured as we went for these, they would be more aggro, which they seem to be. And some of the jump scares were a little off. But I like the concept of the barriers. I like the sound effects. I really like the lighting in the game and the environmental design. So I think overall, like, the game is interesting. But the translations do negatively impact getting immersed into the story and understanding what's going on. And then on top of that, the placement of that one item, that one puzzle piece, which is just a little ridiculous, do kind of bring it down. And so it's like, I feel like the developers had a good idea. They had a good concept. And it's like they understand the assignment, but it was the implementation that does tend to hurt this game a bit. So I think it's cool, but it definitely does have some issues that do impact it. Now, the experience in Japanese might be different because you're not dealing with the English translation at that point, which could help. Whoa, hello. That looks cool. Well, not going that way. Oh, great. We have friends. Oh, shit. I'm schmoving. Oh. And we have the doll. Otherwise, we would be super dead. The dazzling light that had enveloped my entire body suddenly disappeared and I woke up. Wake me up inside. The stone monument in front of myself was already bluish in the blue moonlight. I wondered how much the time had passed. As I have got more conscious of my heavy body, I was attacked by furious itching. It seems that I got the insect bites while I was lying there. I did not have power to scratch anymore, so I slumped my arms and looked up at the moon. I wonder if I had a dream. What if the sad rituals that took place in the village and the events in this abandoned Ryokan happened in reality? Even if the raging spirit of the deceased is now quelled, the GERD and anger will overflow again as long as the shrine stays abandoned like this. While I was thinking of this, there was nothing more I could do. Finally, I put my hands together in front of the stone monument and left this place. I'm hungry even though I don't feel good. I have to eat something. Masagoro. It's so weird. Like, I guess they're connecting it to the famine of the village, why the person's saying, oh, I'm so hungry, but yeah, the telling of the story in English sounds weird. And there are plenty of times where it sounds like it's a shopping list. You know, like people aren't really sharing dialogue, but like, I did this. I did this. And you're like, why are you writing this down? Why do I care? Right. And that's the thing, too. They leave it open where it's like, am I hallucinating? Was this imaginary? Or did it actually happen? Oh, will it happen again? And I'm just like, I feel like that's kind of like sometimes like plot armor because they couldn't figure out what ending to really go with, like to actually say, hey, you've survived, you did this, or no, it went terrible and you didn't survive. They're just like, oh, it could have been a dream, could have been all in your head, we don't know. I feel like that's a little bit of a wishy-washy ending just because so many people do tend to do that. But that's not to say it's a bad choice, I guess. It's just, it is a choice that often happens. I smelled the sun and woke up. Oh, I wasn't expecting more. The alarm started to ring just as I thought it is good weather today. I wonder since when I have worked up earlier then the alarm rings. I feel good as my listlessness I had since then has gone now. Holy shit, Yoda. I extended my hand and reached to the mobile phone on the bedside table, and I touched something smooth. It was that wooden doll.
Wooden doll I felt up, yes.
This is the one I have dedicated to the shrine with my own hands. Am I confused in my memory? I gently lifted the doll with both of my hands and put it under the light. The air of misery around the doll is nowhere to be found, and it just looks like a simple local product. Thank you very much, I muttered in a small voice. Its gentle smile seemed squinting in the light. Oh no, it is hard for me to throw this away. I gave a grim smile. Thank you for that. Good timing. Good timing. Thank you, Arcanus. See, I guess they're trying to show like, oh, was this a dream? Maybe. And then you get through the credits and it goes, ah, hey, this actually did happen. But is this good or is this bad? We don't really know. Because you're stuck with this doll now. It's interesting. It is an intriguing story to an extent. I think conceptually it's good. It's just the implementation wasn't as good. But I think some of that also could be translation. Because again, I haven't read the original text and I wouldn't be able to read it. So it's hard to say if the writing was actually that weird and awkward or if it's just translation issues. But again, usually when you run words through a translator, there aren't the spelling errors. So that's also the other thing that I'm confused on too. Because there were also some bad spelling errors as well, like alarm instead of alarm. So I don't know. Overall, I think they had the right idea. They understood the assignment. They just weren't able to, I think, accomplish 100% what they were trying to get to, or it's just implementation. So at that point, out of a 10 scale, with 10 out of 10 being impossible because that's the perfect game, I would give this game like a 5, just because the audio is very good and the visuals are really nice and the lighting is very good. It's really like the translation hurts it a lot. And then also, the one puzzle piece, or the piece for the box for the doll, we just could not find anywhere. Because all the other ones were on a desk or on a table, and they were next to a note. This one was in a random corner of a bathroom in a room. And yes, it had a jump scare there, but that doesn't mean that naturally you're going to then go into the room that you had the jump scare in. That usually pushes you away from that. So we ended up spending like a good hour just running around trying to find that damn piece, and we had to look it up in the end. So I think that really hurt the flow of the game. I don't think that was very good placement for a game like this. Like, I feel like they were just like, let's put in that tricky one, ha ha ha, they'll have a hard time with this, but you're taking away from the overall pacing and experience of the game, and you're making people lose interest very quickly. I think the length of the game is fine, and it is pretty dependent on you understanding where things are and exploring and, you're pacing through it. I do appreciate the creatures popping out here and there to attack you and then disappearing rather than like a constant entity chasing you like a Yuki Ono or something like that. Like Yuki Ono was a fun enough game by Chilla's Art, but I didn't really like the fact that the thing was constantly screeching at you and chasing you all the damn time, and there really weren't a lot of places to hide, so it became really obnoxious. So this actually felt good. Like, I liked the back and forth of like, oh, entity, hit the right button and just hold and hope for the best. Okay, good. Now we can progress. So that was nice. I like the flow of this a bit better, but again, just implementation overall. And the creatures were kind of redundant after a while. Like, you got a really good sense of what they were. They all looked the same. And they all seemed to actually spawn in the same place. So you're like, okay, I know what to expect kind of after a while. So there was that. So it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. Again, the translation was pretty bad. But I also respect them for putting out a game and trying to translate it into other languages, which is also not easy. So I do appreciate at least that and having the opportunity to be able to play it, because if it wasn't in English, I really wouldn't be able to play it and get any sense of the game at all, really. So I do definitely appreciate that. But it took away from a lot. So I'd say 5 out of 10. Maybe I'm being a little too nice, maybe 4, but I'll stick with 5 out of 10 because I do appreciate some of the things they did here. I thought were pretty interesting. But with that, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think of Masagoro? Would you play this game? Have you played it? What do you think about the story? But with that, thank you so very much for joining. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified of more videos like this, and I will see you in the next one.